I'm at the trailer. If you have a 2023 Toyota Tacoma and you're looking for something to get you through those more heavy-duty ice and snow conditions, and you want something that's going to be just a pretty simple design overall, then the Glacier Tire Chains with the twist link and cams are going to be a great option for you. We're going to have this on tire size 245/75R16. Now this will fit a variety of other sizes. That's just the size we have today. And we're going to have this on our rear axle as what the manual recommends. Now if you're worried that this is going to fit your vehicle, you can actually plug in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find the right one for you. And if we take a closer look at these links, you'll notice they are pretty large and bulky, and we're going to have this twist design to them. And next to that, we're going to have this ladder pattern of these chains. And really what all that means is with that shape of your links, that's going to be a little bit more of an aggressive chain, so it's going to help you get through those more heavy-duty conditions. But it's not going to be too aggressive like any type of hard, angled, or V-type chain that if makes contact with any type of pavement can really tear up that pavement, especially when you're driving through some areas that are a little bit spotty. That's why I like these. They're a little bit more forgiving. And then we're going to have that ladder pattern, and what's great about that is that's going to give you a little bit more traction when you're stopping and you're starting. And of course we are going to have 4 cams with this included tool. And what I like about cams on chains like these are that they're going to help you get as much of that slack out of this. Because sometimes with this style of chain, when you are just using this hook and these links at the bottom to secure everything down, it can be really difficult to take all that slack out. So just having some extra help can help you out a lot. In my opinion, I think this is a great chain to pick up if you are trying to get through those heavier duty conditions and you want something that's going to be pretty easy to put on still. Now if you're looking for an even easier solution where you don't actually have to get underneath your vehicle, you can actually put them on from the outside, then the Titan chain assisted tire chains are going to be a great option for you. And you don't have to invest in a separate rubber tensioner either because it's going to have one built in. Now the downside of those are they're not going to be for those as heavy conditions as these are. So it's really going to depend on what type of environment you're in. Now if you are curious about this installation, just stay tuned and we'll walk you through the process. To begin our installation, I like to lay out our chains and just kind of check a few things. I also like to grab a pair of gloves just so it's a little bit easier to handle them. So what we're really looking for is 2 things. We want to make sure nothing's tangled up and everything's in the right orientation. So you'll notice right here with this hook, we want to make sure that is facing up so it's away from our tire. I also want to make sure with these cams right here, we want to make sure that is furthest away from your tire. I also want to make sure it's not already tightened up. It'll look like this. It's already in the tighten position. So just make sure you flip it around. It should look something like this. After you've checked everything, we can start draping this on our tire. So what I like to do is really just grab it from the center and just drape it over the tire. We're just trying to match everything up. And when you do this, you want to make sure this isn't hanging too low where it's going to make contact with your rim. We want it more centered up on that tire. And then I'm just going to go across and make sure everything's in the right spot. Now we're going to start making our connections, and I like to do my first connection on the back side because it's a little bit tougher to do. So to do this, I'm just going to grab this hook and put it through one of these links. Now you'll notice we have a few to choose from. Right now this is a little bit too loose, so I'm going to go and tighten this down a little bit more. We want to make sure though we don't tighten this up too much, because if it's too tight on the back end, we won't be able to either tighten up the front side or it's going to give us an uneven fit, and we want to make sure this is properly secured on our tires. It's going to be the same process for the front side. Just grabbing these links and that hook and trying to secure it down. Now this is going to be a pretty tight fit for me, trying to get that on here, but I'm going to attempt so. Look at that, I got it. And now, I'm going to grab our included tool. This is going to be to tighten down these cams. And the goal here is to tighten all of them, or at least as many as I can. The way you do that is just by grabbing this flat end, putting in this hole, and then turning. You can see this is going to cinch everything up together. And I'm just going to continue to go all the way around until I like the way this feels. Once this is all tightened up, I like to come back through, give it a good pull test, and this is feeling really nice. I like how we're fitting now. But then at the end, you probably noticed that it was a little bit loose still, and to combat that, I'm going to grab that rubber tensioner I was talking about earlier, and this is great because we won't be able to take out that extra slack. Now the trick to this is putting it in a starred pattern. And when you do that, you want to make sure these hooks are facing away from your tire just so they don't puncture anything. And they are going to stretch out a little bit. And if you don't get it perfectly the first time when you're doing this, that's okay. You can rearrange this to fit your needs. So this is alright. I could try to adjust this a bit more to sit closer here. And once we've made all our adjustments, again, I'm going to give it one more pull test to make sure everything feels good. I like the way this looks. And if I do, I can repeat this process on the other side. When both chains are on, then I recommend just either pulling forward or backing up some to make sure they still look good. And if they do, you can take it out for a ride. But that was just a look at our Glacier Tire Chains with the cams on our 2023 Toyota Tacoma. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.